Hello, and welcome to Conscious Curiosities, where we unlock the wisdom of the universe which lies within us. I'm Maria Luz, your host, an astrologer, hypnotist, and psychic medium, and I'm happy to introduce these little bonus episodes. I've been releasing every Friday on my Substack a casual audio, and the topic is life. It is started out as talking about my recovery from alcohol addiction, and it quickly morphed into more how to get through life in order to feel free, which I think we all enjoy. And I've had a lot of good feedback, so I thought I would share these on my podcast. If they are not your thing, feel free to stick with the main episodes where I talk more about mystical things and astrology. Thanks, and I appreciate you listening. Hello, and welcome. We made it to another Friday, and today I'm going to go back to a project that I put on hold. I thought I was done at the end of January, and I had been reading my journal entries from my first year of sobriety, and I felt this nudge to start doing that back in March of last year, 2024. And uh, when I got to day 146 was the last entry I read. I I had looked ahead a little, and it started becoming something different. And I guess it is more of a now a recovery slash spiritual awakening journal than it was a sobriety journal. So I I wasn't really clear on what to do or how to move forward at that time. So I just stopped. But something recently nudged me to just go back and look at those entries. And since it's been a good 6 months since I've done that, and I'm glad I did. So I'm gonna just start maybe reading them again weekly if they seem interesting. Um, Mainly, I have to be interested because I don't know if you've noticed, but I've been slipping the past few weeks. And instead of doing this on Thursday to release it, overnight for Friday, I kind of wait until Friday morning and see what inspires me to talk about. So I'll do that. But then something else, as I was reading this one to myself, I wanted to look back at my astrology, of course, and see, oh my God, what the heck was going on there? So there was a lot. I had a lot of transits happening, pretty major ones. So if you are into astrology and you want to hear about that, I'll talk about that a little bit after I read the entry. And if not, you can sign off after the entry. It'll probably just be a few minutes. I'll put the links to the last entry I read in January of this year, 2025, and I'll also put a link to the first entry that I read as an audio, which was about the end of my first month sober, which would have been back in December of 2022. Okay, so this entry is day 148, April 1st, 2023. I have been thinking about alcohol, how it is an escape from the reality you are in, which means you want to escape it, which means you must have a reason you want to escape. Have I really examined my reason? Maybe the common thread over the years was that my external world did not match my wants, my Leo sun, or needs, my Aries moon. Side note here, I was just starting to learn astrology. So I had put in those comments without really understanding. Back to the entry. And the harder I ignored my true nature, the more I had to drink. Have I always needed somewhere to focus my intensity on? Maybe. I did feel the need to have a baby so young. Was it to create something? aside from having my own family that was not the messed up one I was born into. Now is the time to really think and plan. Maybe I want to quickly, maybe I went too quickly to action previously and then had to undo things. After reading BFB posts, and BFB is the big Facebook sobriety community I was on all the time then, seeing people relapse and me feeling that pull at times, could it have to do with the fact that we are creating a new life? That we are out of touch with the fundamental skill we were born with to create from a place of authenticity and rawness. There is a fear as an artist sometimes that what you have created is bad and must be thrown away. That rather to risk sense of failure, that sense of failure returning, we quit our creative effort. Maybe that is why it is so important to trust the process. We are creating in every breath, whether we acknowledge it or not. Oof, I was just reading my journals about 2018 to 2019. 2019. Something told me it would give me wisdom about the T. T is ex-boyfriend, the T sitch. And oh boy, did it. It was an energy suck and time taken away that I can't ever get back. I am so glad I reread them now with a clear head. It was like I was possessed, definitely obsessed. I see now how clearly stuck I was. I do not want to slowly sink back into that mindset. I am so grateful it ended and I have had this time with Sam. He's my youngest. I didn't have this bonus time after high school with Gianni. He's my older son. He was just gone. I really felt that since we've moved here, even with the downs, there have been so many more ups. I have had this sobriety, but even before I had some and was not doing stupid things, chasing after tea or sitting in bars or any of that shit. Ray has helped me. Ray's my dog. Also, having compassion for mom and learning that I like my own company. Who knew the time alone could be so full and not lonely? Okay, so that was my journal entry. And then for you astrology minded people, I want to share what was going on. Okay, so uh, my chart was just lit up. So some of the longer term aspects, Saturn was trine my ascendant and my natal Jupiter because my natal Jupiter is right on my ascendant. It's 5 minutes from my ascendant. I have Jupiter and Scorpio in the 12th house, which explains a lot about my secret psychic abilities that were hidden from even myself for my whole life. And then I had also square my ascendant. I had Pluto, which means also Pluto was square that Jupiter. And I had Neptune opposed my natal Mercury, also opposed my natal Pluto because I have Pluto and Mercury conjunct. Uh, and I also had Chiron conjunct my natal moon, which was a huge thing. And my natal moon is close to my natal Chiron. So it was within um, kind of a loose conjunction as well to my natal Chiron. And I also had Uranus semi-sextile my natal moon. Neptune was in conjunct my natal sun. Saturn was semi-square my natal moon. So you can hear there were so many things, and even just more of the short-term uh, transits that were happening. I had Venus conjunct my natal Saturn, uh, Venus semi-sextile my natal moon, Jupiter conjunct my natal moon. So there was a lot of moon and Chiron action happening, and of course, all of the outer planets were involved, every single one of them. So that shows me that I was starting to, I was already undergoing this transformation. And, I was starting to think about these Venus things about relationship and what did I value? What did I think was beautiful? Mercury was involved. So how I perceive things. and Neptune, starting to think about that creativity, that imagination. Pluto, I don't think I mentioned, would be that core driver of the transformation, being square my ascendant. And then Saturn being involved is just, the structure of my life, and more of that seriousness and the time component. What am I doing with my time? I even say something like I wasted time with that ex-boyfriend in there. Um, so now, more than 2 years later, I can say I see the effects of this, how much healing I have done on that Chiron. And in fact, one of my astrologer friends who did one of my earlier readings, Narayana Montufor, she has a book coming out in July, and she actually put my story in there because she thought it was so dramatic. So, so yeah, Chiron was a big part of the story, and my moon as well, my natal moon, just figuring out how to feel emotions, what to do with them. And I can say I look nothing like I did 2 years ago. Like the picture on my profile now, it looks nothing like me. You'll probably, if you've looked at my latest video, I have chopped off all my hair. It's my natural color, which is really dark. Um, and I couldn't imagine back then not being able to do the hair flip thing, to flirt or, all of those things. But I started spiritually balding at two of these kind of significant chakras on my head. And it's still happening. My crown is really like expanding into a monk's tonsure, and then the lower chakra at the base of my head as well. So, yeah, so transformation happened. It's still happening. And I hope you enjoyed this little foray. I did. And have a wonderful weekend. Bye bye.